And we are live. Welcome to the process. It is Wednesday, October 19th, day 2 of the NBA season. Good to be back. I am incredibly tired right now. I don't know where yesterday went. Let me bring this different screen up. I don't know where yesterday went, but 24 hours just immediately have come and gone. We're right back here again for the process show, breaking down everything that we've got. Only this time it's a little bit different. 12 game slate, not just a simple 2-gamer. We are going to be here a while, everybody, so buckle up. I'm guessing we're out of here at like 8 o'clock. 90 minutes seems like a no-brainer. It could run a little bit longer. I cannot give the same kind of detail today. We have a lot of work to just simply add to the model as we're working our way through. So this is not going to be the same detail as you would get on, say, like a 12-gamer 2 weeks from now. We'd be here until lock today. Today is a full day of work of just trying to dial in this slate. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to move a little quickly, but we're going to hit on the high level stuff. If something is like mildly, like just even average, it's probably not worth talking about on a day like today. What I do need you guys to do, and you did a fantastic job yesterday. Highest views I've had on a process show ever by a mile. You guys blew the likes out of the water. Hundreds more than we did for last year's opening day process show. I could not ask for anything more from you guys. The best viewers on any DFS show anywhere show up each morning for the process. So that is you guys. Thank you for being here. I see all the coffee cups. Chat's packed already. 65 viewers, 33 likes. Hit that thumbs up if you haven't done it already. Subscribe to the channel. We have so much content coming out. Basketball, golf, MMA, hockey, football, you name it. We are covering it right now. And that's all for you guys. So subscribe to that channel, notification bell, all that good stuff. Follow me on Twitter. You can see it on the screen right now, at Josh Engleman. It's the only place you're going to get any updates to optimals as we get closer to lock. I'll add more details and stuff to it as we get moving. But takes for yesterday were pretty tough. God, my back hurts. Fell asleep on the couch last night. What else do we have to do? Okay, this one's good. We're going to pop this little bad boy on there. I know it doesn't look great on the bottom left, but you'll get it. BetMGM, presenting sponsor of this show and of everything else that I'm doing, really. Contenders videos and stuff too. And I'm happy to have them because they're hooking you guys up with a ton of free cash, and that's really as good as you could possibly want from anybody. Free money, that's fantastic. Link in the description. Click it, head on over to BetMGM, sign up. You got to be a new BetMGM user. Now, this is going to be different than it was yesterday, and it's going to sound weird, but you can see it on the top of the screen. You bet $10 on any NHL money line. Yes, this is hockey. I know. This is an NBA show. You don't want to be betting on hockey. $10 on any NHL money line. Take the biggest favorite if you want to just handle this quickly. They'll give you $200 in free bets if either team scores a goal. How close can I get? Right there. If either team scores a goal, as long as it's not nothing, and I think you'll be fine. $200 in free bets, all from just clicking the link in the description of this video and betting $10 on a money line. Take the biggest favorite, make it easy on yourself. Get yourself a no-brainer $200 at BetMGM. Thanks, BetMGM. Appreciate having you guys. I do have the banner up today. Well, the banner is only for when I come down in that bottom left-hand corner, but it is good that I put it up there. Mark Curry says only 3 NHL games today. Okay, there you go. Three choices of money lines. Take the best one. Or if you got to lean on the other one. It doesn't matter if the bet itself wins. You just need somebody to score a goal. Okay. As I mentioned, this one's going to take a while. I'm missing some guys in the model that we're going to have to add and average out. There's probably a couple other little things that we're going to be missing through this. The only way to catch these things is to actually have to project these 12 games. And there was no time yesterday for me to ever come close to this. So let's dive in now. No messing around. You can see this. We're starting off absolutely clean for the Orlando Magic. So I'm going to, and I hope everybody did well yesterday. Nothing terribly interesting from me. I got 4 lineups, actually, well, 3 lineups in the top 1%. I had won like 2 spots out of being 4th into the top 1%. So I'm pretty happy with the top end. I basically lock buttoned Embiid, and he could not have looked much worse. The stats got there sort of, but the other pay up options ended up being way better than Embiid. I wasn't in the optimal on FanDuel. Ended up down just a little bit. I'll take it as a victory given how much Embiid I had. If he just didn't look right. I don't want to get into that yet. We'll wait a little bit. But I had a ton of James Harden. That felt good early. Didn't matter though. Needed Steph Curry. I was neutral-ish. And shout out to Steve Kerr, by the way, for the nonsense. Whatever. Like, oh, these guys can play 30 minutes now. They can't. Celtics did look great. For a stretch, the Sixers looked fantastic too when Harden was cooking. Embiid just looked slow, out of shape, just lazy. I didn't enjoy it. Anyway, we got to get into this right now. And if I'm being perfectly honest, I've been waiting an hour for this bad boy. Coffee is in hand. So I hope you guys have a coffee. If you don't have coffee, if you're not a coffee drinker, if you got tea, water, if you're drinking beers, taking shots, whatever kind of crazy way you want to start your day. If you're more of a food person, not a liquids, maybe you got a smoothie. Who knows? Chicken fingers. I would eat a slice of pizza right now if I could. I think that would be pretty good. I feel like I'm hungover even though I didn't drink. So if you got pizza, knock that back too. I'm going to stick with coffee for right now. I'm going to say rise and grind. It's right there. You guys know the drill this morning. Cheers, everybody. Bang. Good luck. Let's get some money. There we go. There we go. All right. Coffee tastes good. Gonna need 100 more cups of that today to actually make it through. But now we dive in to the real stuff. Let's start with Orlando. I'm going to rip through each team rotation like generically, and then we'll start to make a couple tweaks. I'll hit Detroit after this. Same situation. We'll plow through it really quickly, make a couple tweaks. We'll give the high-level guess on what these guys are going to look like, and then we're going to move it on. Deacon, good to have you here. I also needed Jason Tatum to calm down a little bit. He was great. I went pretty heavy on Jaylen Brown, less on Tatum. Was all right. Okay, here we go. So if we want to think about this in the easy way, we're going to get Paolo. I'm going to treat every rotation as a pretty normal, like 32 if you think about it. We're going to go 32 to Wendell Carter Jr., Cole Anthony likely starting at the point. Franz Wagner at the 3. Now is where it starts to get a little bit more confusing. Jalen Suggs going to be available. Don't think he's going to play as much as everybody else. So we'll go 28 there. Terrence Ross is going to have to play. RJ Hampton seems like the backup point guard. Also, not very good. Get Chumo Kiki in there. That's 8 guys. Obama backup center. And who am I missing? They're going to run 10, right? Gotta be. Gary Harris is hurt. Fultz is hurt. Isaac's still out. Who else? Anthony, Suggs, Wagner, Banchero, Carter, that's obvious. Okiki, Ross, Bamba, Hampton, that's all obvious. Do they go to do they go to a 10th? Are they going to go to like Bol or Caleb Houston or something? I'm going to give Bol some placeholder minutes. I think that's pretty reasonable. I think I can minimize this window too. Yeah, that's going to be better. Okay, so I feel pretty good with what we have in here now for Orlando, and I don't really think it needs any crazy tweaks. I do for sure want to bump up my original estimation for Paolo's usage because he's a rookie. Everybody gets a flat projection, so I have to manually hit him. I think he's just going to have the ball a little bit more, so I take him up to 24. We'll see where that ends up landing. But after that, this is a Magic team that is basically the same team as last year. So I'm going to treat their rates like they're the same and not make any raw tweets to the back end. These are just all already regressed from what should be very similar rates. So I think Orlando looks pretty set up at this point. We'll take a look once we add Detroit, because missed shots and rebounding opportunities are dependent upon the team that you're facing. So, like, I can't look at Orlando's projections until I know what I have for Detroit. If they put in like bad rebounders, Orlando's rebounding will go up. Or if they put in even worse shooters, then there will be more opportunities for rebounds. So let's check out Detroit now. And this is another one that should be relatively easy, although I am going to have to add Jaden Ivey and Jalen Duren both to the model, so you can see how this starts to happen. We'll get both guys here. We'll say Jaden Ivey 1.5, Jalen Duren 4.5. And we'll get them in so they can have rates. Once they're in, then they just start to stabilize once all their stats come in. But for now, got to sort of manually handle it. Kevin Knox probably has... Is he the second? Is Kevin Knox the second? I think he is. Is he Kevin Knox the third? I really can't remember. I don't know. Doesn't matter. This is another team that should be pretty easy to break down. Only a couple little swing spots on the margins, but and it gets, I think, a little bit easier even without Marvin Bagley in here now. We know Beef Stew going to be the starter. I think 28 minutes feels about right there. Jalen Duren probably going to be the backup, if I had to guess. Where we slot Cade in is interesting from a positional standpoint. I'm going to say Boyan plays 30. Sadiq Bey. Actually, Boyan's probably playing 30 here. Sadiq Bey, we'll give him the straight 32. We'll get Cade in for, if as a backup point guard, that's just going to continue to happen. Ivy's just going to play, so I'm going to give him 30 minutes. Might need to give 18 to Corey Joseph. That probably won't matter. Killian Hayes also going to be involved. We're going to say that he's backing up. We can probably give him 20 minutes. We'll bump a little bit more of this playing time to Cade, because we got to remember, Cade may be the point guard of the team. Positionally, I like to project guys based on who they guard. It's way more consistent. You get guys like Ben Simmons where, he plays like a point guard. He's the height of a whatever. I want to put in what he's likely to guard, because then everybody tends to fall in place. It allows you to project these guys a little bit more realistically, the way that they're on the floor. So we need to get Hamidou Diallo and Isaiah Livers in 4 minutes, or at least one of those two guys, depending on who we think it's going to be. I've got a sneeze queued up too. It's pretty annoying. Whew. That one had some heat on it, folks. 179 people in here already, 75 likes. Might as well just hit 100 now. We might be able to hit 100 by the quarter mark. Let's see. I'm going to go 14 minutes to Diallo, 14 minutes to Livers. And this is another team where I don't think that I have too many question marks for usage rate. Probably want to bump up Jaden Ivey just a little bit. I think he's going to have the ball in his hands a little bit more. Probably could bump up that assist rate as well. But I'm okay with Cade's rates. I think Boyan just steps right in as a shooter. So we could hold here, and now we can actually look at both of these teams individually. Now, there's not going to be any sim odds or me or ownership yet, but we can quickly take a look at Orlando. And right out of the gate, I like Wendell Carter on DraftKings for 6,100. I like him a little bit less on FanDuel for 7,100, but he still looks good. Cole Anthony, 6K on DraftKings, 5,800 on FanDuel. I think he stands out as a positive play, as does, and let's see, Jalen Suggs, FanDuel, 5K, feels like a Ooh, can't hear me? You guys really can't hear me? Okay, hold on. Let me double check. We sure we're good? Everything seems good on my end. Okay, everybody's good. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Yeah, sometimes YouTube does this sort of stuff, so you just need to refresh the stream. Jalen Suggs looks okay for 5K. I'm a little surprised by that, given how absolutely awful he was last year from an efficiency standpoint, but I guess I could see it. There's some usage to be had for this team. Banchero looks okay. 6K seems fine on FanDuel. Probably a little overpriced on DraftKings. I think Wendell Carter and Cole Anthony are the two best pieces here. If we look at the Detroit side, wow. 7K Cade on DraftKings, I think is going to rank pretty highly. He's 7,900 on FanDuel, so a little bit tougher to get to, but still looks good. Sadiq Bey, Boyan, Beastu on DraftKings all have really solid 20% booms. Sadiq Bey, 5,200 on FanDuel. I really like the idea of going to someone like Sadiq Bey today just because I think it's going to help him a lot to have year 2 Cade, a little bit more talent out there. Boyan as a floor spacer as well. This is a very interesting game, Orlando and Detroit. I think that I have this loaded up as well. Yeah, I do. Perfect. So this is everybody based on boom. So looking like on FanDuel, highest boom so far, Sadiq Bey, 34.9%. Cade on DraftKings, 7K. This is where we'll keep it looking for the rest of it. But yeah, this should give us a pretty good idea of where people land. So we'll check this out. We'll add each game as we move forward. Detroit, Orlando, though, that's a game that I am going to have my eye on. I'm very interested to see what the ownership looks like. There are some good pieces here. All right, let's move it on to Washington and Indiana. The Wizards are 2-point favorites in Indiana, 217 total. This Indiana team is pretty bad this year, so we'll see where that all ends up. Do I think Orlando plays at the same pace as last year? I wouldn't expect it to change all that much. It's pretty much the same personnel. All right, let's get the Wizards in here, and this is going to be a little bit different. They've got changes at point guard and, changes throughout the lineup. So let's start with Monty Morris in at point guard. I'm going to say Bradley Beal in at shooting guard. We're going to go with Will Barton at the 3. We're going to need Kyle Kuzma at the 4. We're going to need Kristaps Porzingis at the 5. Daniel Gafford backing him up. We're going to get Rui in for 24 minutes. That'll allow me to kick a couple minutes down Kyle Kuzma. Alon Wright, we're going to say backup point guard. Only guys we're missing now, Denny Avdia. And, okay, so this is where it gets interesting. Are they going to run a 9-man rotation? Like, Johnny Davis shouldn't see the floor. He's ass. I just don't know who else on this team is actually going. This seems like a 9-man rotation. Or at least something pretty close to it. Let's give Denny 18 minutes. Move Will Barton down 10 more minutes to the 2. I'm going to have 4 spillover minutes going somewhere here. I don't really care who ends up with them. I know Corey Kispert's out right now. Kispert will likely be in that rotation when we get to it. I'm just going to throw 4 minutes to Taj Gibson because it doesn't matter. From a rates perspective, I don't have a lot that I want to change here other than sort of cementing Beal and Porzingis' usage rates, considering they're the guys that are just going to soak it up the most, I think. So let's go, since Kuzma played so frequently last year, let's go 23 to Kuzma, 27 to Porzingis, 29.5 to Beal. Rest of the rates, I think, can hold. You expect Monty Morris actually could see a bit of an assist rate bump. Not having to share any ball handling duties with Nikola Jokic might just help there. But I think that's a pretty good, quick baseline Washington. We'll go to Indiana now. This team is just so not good. And they're going to get so much worse when they inevitably trade off Miles Turner and or Buddy Hield. Because this team and that defense is going to be the worst defense in basketball once they do that. 157 viewers, 96 likes. We are definitely going to have 100 likes by the time we hit 7 a.m. Love to see it. Okay, let's rip through this Indiana rotation. Should be a little bit easier. I'm going to go 35 to Tyrese Halliburton. I'm going to go 32 to Miles Turner. I think that's just what he wants to play, and that's going to be important. We're going to need to add Benedict Mathurin to the model. There's no way I'm going to spell that correctly. Let's just go ahead and copy paste that bad boy. Make life a little bit easier. There we go. Benedict Mathurin. Got him. Because they're big fans. I was down on him heading into the draft, but looked really good in Summer League. All right. Isaiah Jackson backing up Turner. No Goga. That's a shame. Man, this team just has such weird positions. All right, let's say TJ McConnell backs up here at the 1. We get, who's the 4? So I guess Jalen Smith is the 4. O'Shea Brissett gets some minutes at the 4. And then everything gets really weird because these guys, they just don't have any wing size. It's not great. I'm going to go 32 minutes to Buddy Hield. We'll go 30 minutes to Chris Duarte. I'm going to say Mathurin plays 22. That leaves me 20 additional minutes to go to who? Aaron Nesmith, perhaps? I think I need a little bit more time going to TJ McConnell. Which gives me 15 minutes for Nesmith. I think I can handle that. Now, rates. This is another team where, other than adding in Mathurin, this is basically the same team that they closed last season with. So I don't have anything too crazy to make a switch here for. I think you could see Miles Turner's usage rate start to climb. And technically, that's what this team is doing. I think increasing Mathurin's usage rate is going to help here. But I think they're just going to sort of use possessions equally. It's not like Halliburton's a big usage guy. Hield, Duarte, Isaiah Jackson, all just around 20%. So there's going to be some shots to go around here in Indiana. But game 2 in the books already. On the Wizards, not a lot to like on DraftKings. Only Kyle Kuzma gets into the 20% boom category. Not sure that Monty Morris, Will Barton, Kristaps Porzingis popping off the page. Beal at 9,600 seems ultra aggressive. On FanDuel, it's a little bit easier. Kuzma, 6,800 still looks okay. Will Barton at 4,900, given the eligibility, I think becomes pretty interesting moving over to Washington. Probably gets a little bit more ball handling duty, a little bit more creation, just by not being out there with Jokic. Like, think about how much Jokic does usage-wise, assist rate-wise, taking over an offense. For Monty Morris and Will Barton, there's no 30-something% usage guy with a 900% assist rate like there is now. So there's extra touches to go around. Bless you to the wife. Indiana. Let me mute it. Indiana now. Lots to like here. This is going to be a really tricky team to roster. The whole five here of Halliburton, Hield, Turner, Duarte, Jalen Smith, all really nice booms. Buddy Hield's a little bit lower, but Halliburton, 7,200 on DraftKings, 37% boom rate. So 37% chance to hit 46. That looks really good. Miles Turner, 6K on DraftKings, 6,100 on FanDuel. It's his show now. Needs 40 fantasy points. I like that. Chris Duarte for 4,600 or 4,500. I mean, the positions work really well on DraftKings. Jalen Smith as a value option, 24 minutes. If there's any foul trouble or anything, that kind of works to me. I'm not going to lie, folks. This Indiana team looks pretty good. I can't really be all that mad here about what I'm seeing for Indiana. So if you like the Pacers, by all means, this is going to be a spot. You'll see as we add in game number 2. Cade is still at the top on DraftKings individually at 45%, but Halliburton not too far behind. Jalen Smith and Duarte both there. I think we're going to see a couple more guys get into this 40 and 50% range. That's going to be the concentration. But even here on the FanDuel side, you get Chris Duarte, you get Buddy Hield, you get Miles Turner. I like the Pacers today. I don't want to say that, but I don't think the Wizards are spectacular. This game's only a 2-point line. It's a relatively high total as well. It's a good game. Don't get me I want to watch Orlando, Detroit because I think there's a lot of young talent. I have no interest in watching Washington, Indiana. That sounds like a slog. 115 likes, 198 viewers. You guys are the best, absolute best fans out there. Oh, I love doing this show. This is going to be a very interesting game. Houston Rockets, 10-point dogs opening night for them in Atlanta, 233 total. Lots of changes that I'm going to have to make here for Houston. Let's see. Jayshawn Tate, I assume I have to make a name change here. Maybe I don't. Look at what we've got going here for Houston. Houston. All right, so I need to add Jabari, Tari Eason, because Jayshawn Tate is out. That should cover me. So add Jabari and Tari Eason. That's easy enough. Oh, I don't want that there. I want that there. There we go. So let's say 4 for Jabari Smith. 3 for Tari Eason. Get both of those guys added to the model. Boom. Much easier. Now, who am I actually missing? I know they cut Mo Harkless, so let's go ahead and delete him. Get rid of that now. Who am I missing here? It's got to be somebody really obvious. Well, let's fill in the minutes and we'll figure it out. Kevin Porter, fresh off of his interesting extension, gets popped in here. Jalen Green, straight in as well. I'm going to go 28 minutes to Şengün, at least for right now. They also cut Derek Favors. Actually, Houston's going to need like a total overhaul. No wonder I'm not thinking about this correctly. So Eric Gordon, we'll give him 28 minutes at the 3. Houston's a tough team here. I'm going to go 30 minutes to Jabari. So starters are in. That's easy. Looking like Tari Eason's probably going to play like 20 minutes. Anxious to see. We'll go 18. Anxious to see what he ends up looking like. Backup center for the Rockets. I guess we got to get Josh Christopher in as well at backup point guard. So Bruno Fernando. That's who we're looking for here. And they extended him as well, which is interesting. Let's give Josh Christopher 20 minutes. We'll get Bruno Fernando in for 12 minutes. Kenyon Martin can go in for 18. Him and his stupid names. Kenyon Martin. KJ Martin. Do I have him added yet? Does that help? No, sure didn't. All right, so that's a 9-man rotation. Daishen Nix, only guy that we need to add yet, going to be backing up at point guard. So I'm going to move Josh Christopher to the 2. We're going to give Daishen Nix 16 minutes there. Actually, 15 minutes there. Straight backup. We'll bump Jalen Green 5 more minutes up the positional spectrum. And then still need 5 minutes left over. And they're definitely going to have some sort of spillover. I'm just going to throw them to Usman Garuba, another thing that I don't think will matter all that much. And again, other than Eason and Jabari, and I don't think Jabari is going to be like a monster usage guy, I think all the rates hold here once again. It's not going to make Jabari look all that great, but that's Houston. We'll go to Atlanta. I can't wait to see this Atlanta team. I'm very curious what it's going to look like now that Trae Young has a secondary ball handler. I think that's going to be incredibly helpful for this team. I just don't know what to totally make of them. DeAndre Hunter, fresh off of his extension as well. I got Trae in for 34. This is one of the teams that I have done. Can the Celtics start putting in an offer for Turner now? You have a better version of Turner on the team already. He's just not healthy. That's the last thing they need. 28 minutes to Capella, 16 to Okongwu. I gave 34 to Murray. And I did this one a while back. Oh, yeah, Bogdan's not going to be ready today, right? He's going to be hurt. Yeah, he's out for a while. So those are some minutes that need to get filled here. And they're going to get filled by some real trash. Aaron Holiday. Got John Collins in for 30. Jalen Johnson in for 12. Hunter in for 32. Definitely going to have to bump up Justin Holiday's minutes. I think AJ Griffin gets some run. And who am I missing? Because I'm a guy short here. Who am I missing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 10. That's 240, 34. I mean, they're not going to play Okongwu and Capella next to each other. So maybe the assumption is that Okongwu can play 20 minutes, Capella plays 28, John Collins doesn't see any time at the 5. That's probably where they're going here. Just kind of wild. I think I could probably throw another minute to Justin Holiday. I get Jalen Johnson up to 16 as well. Kick DeAndre Hunter down to... That ain't right. That's going to be 30 and 2. 4 minutes of spillover time. That can go to anybody. We'll give it to Vit Krejci. Boom, done. Game 3 in the books. All right, so we've done 3 games in the first half hour. I think I'll be able to pick up the pace a little bit more as we keep it moving. But yeah, 8 o'clock. We're going to be here for another hour, easy, maybe even a little bit longer than that. Thank you to the 214 people that are here. You guys are fantastic. Yeah, you can't trade for another center if Time Lord's coming back this season. All right. Next up, we evaluate Houston. What is Kenyon Martin's name in the salary files? KJ Martin in one and Kenyon Martin in the other. So Kenyon Martin here, which works. Why is that not pulling through? Let me hop back over to Houston here to try to figure this out. It's this new model, guys. It takes a while during the regular season to get back into where you want to be. Lazy Mofos, thanks for being here. Rob, thanks for being here. Why is this not pulling through? Look in column N. So DraftKings isn't pulling through. FanDuel is. Column N. I mean, the name is there. I see. Is it too many people? 400? No. This makes no sense. Kenyon Martin, column N, on the salaries file. DraftKings, column N. It's here. It's here. This makes no sense. AJ Martin, Kenyon Martin, column N. I have no idea why that's not pulling through. That is very clearly what I'm looking for. Do I need to type Kenyon Martin in here again? All right, I'll hunt that one down when I can, because that's absolutely right. Is it there now? No, I don't know. We'll figure that one out at a different time. We're not playing him, so it doesn't matter. DraftKings Houston looks a lot... Wait, did I spell it Martin? Is that what the issue is? Good eye, man. Yeah, that's the issue. Got it. Thanks, Rob. Good eye. Well, when you type that O-N to close out Kenyon, it's so easy to then do it again for Martin. So, thank you. Helped. Got it corrected now. Jalen Green, 5,400 on DraftKings. You guys need to be rostering Jalen Green on DraftKings today. Kevin Porter, 6,500 on DraftKings. These guys are $1,000 more expensive on FanDuel than they are in DK. Play Jalen Green on DraftKings. Play Kevin Porter on DraftKings. Play Alperen Şengün on DraftKings at 5,600. He's 6,900 on FanDuel. I don't think that Houston looks very good on FanDuel. I think those three guys look great on DK. And then for Atlanta, it's the starters on both sites. DeJounte, 8,800 on FanDuel, looks a little bit better than he does on DK. He's 9,200 there. Trae Young looks good on both sites. Nothing too crazy, though. Capella, 5,800 on FanDuel. Very interesting to me as a mid-tier center option. If you want to play Collins, I think that's fine. If you want to play $4,400 DeAndre Hunter on FanDuel, I think that looks pretty good as well. Rise and grind, Daniel. All right. There's top 3 games in here now. So, yeah, you're getting Capella in as the 3rd best option on FanDuel thus far. DeJounte Murray coming in as the 6th best option. That'll work. I should add a quick rank here. I think this will make things a little bit easier. Add field boom. There we go. That way we can see a little bit easier where people rank. Always trying to help out. I can't wait for 3 weeks from now when we get all of the extra stuff that we want to see built out, because sometimes you just don't know what you want to show and what's worth it. Okay, on the DraftKings side for the Atlanta and Houston game, Kevin Porter Jr. bang into the 4 spot so far. Jalen Green, Miles Turner, they're there. Kevin Porter will be close to that top 10. Yeah, I think Murray and Young are going to be fine together. It is a little interesting. It's really up to Trae Young and how much he wants to play off the ball. Cool. This one should be impossible to do. The New Orleans Pelicans at the Brooklyn Nets, 230 total. Pelicans are getting Zion back. The Nets are a completely random team. This should be fun. Now, from a minutes projection standpoint, I think that the Pelicans will be pretty easy. It's working in Zion's usage that'll be a problem. So I think CJ is going to be the point guard here. 34 minutes. I'm going to go 33 to Herb Jones. 34 to BI. I'm going to go 30 to Zion. I think they're going to be pretty limiting there. Another 30 to Jovel. I think Larry Nance is the straight backup. I think we see Devontae Graham as the backup point guard. I think it's probably like Jose Alvarado as the backup point guard, Devontae Graham as the backup too, but it's kind of all the same thing. Comes out in the wash. Trey Murphy, it's some backup run, and then only other person I'm missing, I guess, is Jackson Hayes. So let's go 14 minutes to Jackson Hayes, 18 minutes to Trey Murphy. Usage is just, what do you do here? So this is going to be a very interesting question to everybody. I just want to put it out there now. Can the Hawks make the 4th seed? Yeah. I don't think that would be crazy. Brandon Ingram's like a 28% usage guy. CJ McCollum's like a 27% usage guy. Jovel's like 23%. Zion, when he's around, is like a 28% guy. Where does that cut come from? Who's giving it up? Who's not giving it up? I think we're going to see CJ McCollum give up a little bit of usage. And I think we're going to have to see Brandon Ingram do it as well. Very difficult. I'm letting my model handle it. So it's taking like 2% from everybody. We're just going to have to see how this stabilizes. But one of those 4 guys is going to get a giant usage cut. And then we go to Brooklyn. I mean, what do we do with this team? For real. I got them projected already. We'll see how much this holds. I got Patty Mills in for 24. I got Kyrie in for 34. Joe Harris is not going to be available, so we're going to need to take him out. I'm going to go up a couple minutes on Claxton. Looks like Markieff Morris is going to have to play. We're going to get 17 minutes into Day'Ron Sharpe. We'll get Keefe into 16 minutes. We've got Durant obviously in for 34 to start this season off. I don't think they'll go too crazy. Ben Simmons, obviously here. I got him in for 32 minutes. Royce O'Neal probably going to play a little bit more now with no Joe Harris available. And then who are we missing? They're going to run a 9-man rotation? Because we have no Curry. We have no Joe Harris. Obviously, TJ Warren going to be out a bit. Cam Thomas is going to be playing here, right? That's the guy that I've got him in for 14. Yeah, that's got to bump up to 20. And then someone random is probably going to pick up a couple minutes, whether that's David Duke or Watanabe or Edmund Sumner. Let's see. Is that going to be low enough? Close enough. I'm going to add David Duke in here and give him the 6 spillover minutes. There's another spot where, I don't think usage is going to matter all that much. We know what we're going to get out of Durant and Kyrie. Ben Simmons just slots in as a neutral guy. We'll see where we end up. Big assist rate on Ben Simmons. That'll be the biggest piece. The assist relationship between Simmons, Durant, and Irving. I think we could see Kevin Durant's assist rate going down. Man, 250 people here again. This is fun. Swaggy Pete. Good try, man. Yeah, I had very little Horford, which felt good. Just didn't end up mattering for me. All right, so game 4 in the books. We'll start it on the New Orleans Pelicans side. And this is sort of what I was not hoping for. So Zion, 9,100 on DraftKings. 8,600 on FanDuel. I think he's pretty tough to play if we think that he's going to be limited minutes-wise. You need 50-something fantasy points out of Zion in 30 minutes. So that would be like a 1.67 rate. I think that is more than viable, but also not highly likely. Ingram, Jones, Joval, they're the best options here. If you're asking me, I'm probably not going to have much of the Pelicans. Even with the 230 total, I don't think that any individual person's going to stand out. And we don't totally know yet what this offense is going to look like. And you'll see where these Pelicans guys end up ranking on that table is going to be down in like the 20s. That's going to make them hard to be priorities. For the Brooklyn side of this one, I think they look even worse than the Pelicans. Durant at 10K means you need 60. Surely possible, but 60 in 34 minutes, that's 1.75. That's a tough day. Ben Simmons is 7K and 7,600. That's a tough sell. Kyrie's 9,700 on DraftKings. Like, I think the Pelicans defense is going to be really, well, not really bad, but like definitely their weakest link by a lot. Brandon Ingram's not a great defender. Zion's not a great defender. Joe Val is average at best. CJ McCollum's a bad defender. So you're only getting one spot. I don't really like anything from the Pelicans or the Nets, and that's not what I expected to say for that game because it's two really good offenses. But, if we refresh this, highest ranking guy, let's see, who am I like? Herb Jones, 45, 17th on FanDuel. Joe Val, 12th on DraftKings through 4 games. I think the game with the highest total on the slate is like the game that or second highest total on the slate is the game I like the least. What's up, Terry? All right, game 5. You know what? Before we get to game 5, quick reminder. If you guys are interested in signing up at Stokastic.com, you guys should do that by heading to Stokastic.com/promos, and you'll see that link pop up. It actually just did recently from the Stream Elements bot in chat. 10 days of Stokastic Plus Platinum for $10 if you use the promo code Hardwood. It's not just for basketball, but you get projections, ownership, boom, bust, all of our football projections, and all of our detailed tools. Hockey, golf, MMA, I'm probably missing more sports, baseball, college football, you name it, we've got it, and you can get in the door for $1 a day for the first 10 days. Link is in the description as well, but you could also click on the link in chat. All right, Knicks and Grizz. This is going to be 5.5-point dogs for the Knicks, 226 total. Obviously, Memphis a little walking wounded. Knicks should be pretty easy to project, although, they are a slightly different team. We got Jalen Brunson starting it out. This is Tibbs, so I'm sure Jalen Brunson's going to play 42 minutes today. Phone beeping for. I got to handle that. Options, mute for today. Perfect. I got to look this up now. Steve Gerrard, Aston Villa. Did he get sacked? Can't get sacked already. No. Okay, good. That'd be ridiculous. Had to check. That's my boy. All right, Brunson in for 34 minutes. Julius Randle in for 34 minutes. We're going to get Mitchell Robinson and Isaiah Hartenstein splitting the center minutes. I'm going to go 27-21. By the way, I love Isaiah Hartenstein. I wish that he would have went to a better team. Sorry, Knicks fans. Let's see. RJ Barrett obviously going to play like 34 minutes. And then who are we filling the rest of this out with? We'll go Evan Fournier gets 28. I know Quentin Grimes isn't available. Toppin gets his 14 minutes behind Julius Randle. Obi Toppin is getting just popped out by Randle here. 8 game. I generally just play whichever 100K up top tournament is like a better pay structure for me, or like easier to get into. So as long as FanDuel continues to run this like $5, $6, 100K to first, it's going to be FanDuel the whole year. I prefer FanDuel to DraftKings for basketball. It's where I started, so it's just sort of like my muscle memory. All right, we'll give Quickly 20. We'll give Derrick Rose 20. And then I need to throw like 8 random minutes to somebody. This is a 9-man rotation right now. Cam Reddish, come on down. I think. Yeah, I think it could be Reddish right now. Wouldn't surprise me if it were Miles McBride. I'm going to hold most of this other than bumping up Jalen Brunson's usage rate. I don't think that his usage rate is going to come down at this point. I do need to bump up Julius Randle's usage rate and RJ Barrett's. Everybody else can kind of take that haircut. I mean, this is a team. Think about how crazy the Knicks are right now. This is how I project usage rates as baselines for some of these guys. Rose, 23, Fournier, 21, Quickly, 22, even Hartenstein, 19, Brunson, 23, Randall, 28, RJ Barrett, 27. Who's giving up the shots? This is a team full of above average usage players. There are going to be one or two guys on this team that are really unhappy with having to give back some of the looks that they have. I'm nervous about this Knicks team, and I didn't think about it until right now. Yeah, I remember when you popped big on FanDuel last year. So go over to DraftKings so I can have it. All right, Knicks are in. Grizzlies up next. Shame that, Triple J is hurt to start the season, but we're going to get a lot of good stuff out of this Memphis team. We'll start it off, and I'm going to have to add in a couple more guys. David Roddy, Jake LaRavia. So we'll add them to the model quickly. I wonder if Ja Morant's the starting point guard. Let's go ahead and get him in. We'll get Tyus Jones in as well. They'll play alongside each other a bit. We'll give him another 6 minutes. Steven Adams, give him 28 minutes at the center spot. Tillman's going to play. Brandon Clark's going to play. We'll get Clark in for 24. Let's get Bane in for 32. The rest of this is kind of rough. We'll give Tillman 18. We'll kick Brandon Clark 2 minutes there at the 4. Let's add Roddy and LaRavia to the model. Call them boom and boom. I'm so excited for like a week from now when everything is stabilized and we have like 3 rotations worth of stuff from guys. Let's get David Roddy 20 minutes. Let's get Santi Aldama 24. We'll give Jake LaRavia 20 minutes. I have one more spot that I haven't filled. John Conchar is going to be playing, and I think he's going to play quite a bit. There's 20 minutes for Conchar. Memphis is going to look awful in this spot. A matchup against the Knicks and sort of like a wide net for everybody else. There's so much usage. So like the Grizzlies are the opposite problem of the Knicks right now. Ja's a 30+% usage guy. Bane is right around 21. No one else is going to be a high usage player when Dylan Brooks isn't available or Jaren Jackson's not around. So they have plenty of offense to get moved around. As we look at the Knicks, the chances of me going to the Knicks here, very tough. Randall for 7,900 on DK looks okay. 7,500 on FanDuel. I don't have a ton of interest in Jalen Brunson unless you think he's going to just jump to like a 28% usage type guy. I think the Knicks look pretty bad for today. For Memphis, if you want to go to Ja Morant, 9,900 DK, 9,600 on FanDuel, go for it. If you want to go to Bane, 6,100 for Bane with no Brooks, I think is the best play we have here. Brandon Clark, 4,400 on FanDuel. There's a little bit more value on Memphis than I was expecting, but you really want to just concentrate it in Morant and Bane. And Clark to a lesser extent on FanDuel. Remember, there's 12 games today. Trying to figure out like the 30th best guy isn't important. What we really want to do is corner the market on the top of this list. These 30 plus booms on FanDuel, these 35 to 40 plus booms on DraftKings. Like Ja Morant right now, I think looks decent. He's 17th through 5 games. There's going to be a wealth of guys where like, if you like Morant, look, I mean, here's a perfect example. Trae Young, DeJounte Murray, Ja Morant. based on salary and based on their projection, all look basically exactly the same. All guys in the nines. They're all going to rank like 30th when we get to the end of this. I can't sift through that. There's just going to be bigger priorities. They are just going to be filler, as best I could tell at this point. All right, let's go to game 6. Halfway point. We're going to be going a little bit longer than I was expecting. Not that I wanted to do this. It's going to be, we just don't have a choice. There's too many games. Chicago, 6.5-point dogs against Miami in Miami, 216 total, very low. Zach LaVine questionable for this one already, which isn't fun. We know that there's going to be no Lonzo for a while, which is kind of a bummer. Javonte Green coming off the bench. We know the starting lineup's going to have Patrick Williams in at the 4. We know Dosunmu starting, so we'll get there. So let's go ahead and figure out the rest of this rotation, because I popped this in a while ago. I left Lonzo out. Let's go ahead and get Dosunmu into the starting point guard role for 28 minutes. We got 32 in for Vooch, Andre Drummond as the backup, 28 for Patrick Williams. I'm going to bump that up to 30 for now. I think that makes more sense. Javonte Green. You know DeMar is going to play like 36 minutes. We're going to give Javonte Green a decent chunk of backup 4 run. Kobe White feels like he should play a couple more minutes, but I don't know if that's going to happen. I'm thinking we might actually get some Derek Jones here. I'm going to give him 12. Yeah, there we go. Now we're starting to cook. Ten-man rotation for Chicago. I assume we're not going to be looking at too much of this going up against Miami. We know the guys that we're going to want. It's going to be LaVine. It's going to be Vooch. Maybe Patrick Williams has a broken salary. Maybe DeMar DeRozan. I don't think there's going to be a lot here to like for Chicago. There could be something interesting to like here for Miami. We're about to find out. Fun team, too. I think Jovic is going to play. He's going to be a pain in the ass for a lot of this season. Let's add him now, just in case. But the Jokic thing is going to get old, like, basically immediately. Wow. I am really bad at copying and pasting on the Mac. It's just too many years of ingrained buttons to press. Is Boogie in the league? No, he's not. Not that I remember, at least. 300 people in here right now. 173 likes. Let's get it up over 200. We're going to be here a while. Where can you see winning lineups? I don't know what you mean. In my account, probably. Alrighty. Kicking it off. Kyle Lowry, 32 minutes. Let's go ahead and get Tyler Hero in for 34. Dude's going to be starting now. Going to be playing a lot. Bam Adebayo, 33 minutes in at center. Perfect. Dwayne Dedmon is going to be the backup center at the beginning of this year. So if you see anybody projecting it differently, be ready. Shouldn't matter. But they're going to be going to Dwayne Dedmon at backup center. They signed him to a slightly bigger deal. He's going to get traded after January 15th. Keep your eye on it there. Yeah, FC Rewind, lineup study. Both perfect. Jimmy Butler, 34 minutes. Easy. Caleb Martin likely starting at the 4. That's pretty easy. Gabe Vincent going to back up Kyle Lowry. Simple. We're going to need to get Max Strus out there for, we'll say, 22. We're going to get Duncan Robinson back out there for 22. And we'll give Jovic 2 minutes. That is the Miami Heat. Can't really think of any changes that need to get made. This is the same team we saw last year. So we can go to game number 6. That's going to be Chicago. And Other than Vooch, I think this entire team is unplayable on DraftKings. On FanDuel, they are mostly unplayable, but more likely in the not interesting category. But like, do not pay $8,800 for DeMar DeRozan against Miami, or $8,200 for Levine. $7,300 for Levine on FanDuel is kind of interesting, but he may be dinged up too. I just don't like the Chicago team, and that should not be surprising against Miami. It should make perfect sense. Yeah, Mark, there's the Bulls starting lineup came out yesterday. For Miami, now this is a team you need to jam. What is DraftKings doing? $6,400 for Bam Adebayo. He's going to be one of the most popular plays of the day, and you're probably playing him in cash. That is a completely broken price tag. Bam, DraftKings, jam him in. Tyler Hero, $6K on DK. Does his usage take a little bit of a hit if he's going to be starting? Sure. I think they're still going to be able to stagger pretty well here. Maybe I'll take him down to 33 minutes just to soften that blow a little bit. But Bam Adebayo, exceptional. Tyler Hero looks really good on DK at 6K. He's 5,900 on FanDuel. Looks good there. Caleb Martin as a value play on FanDuel at 3,900 is available for you. Butler's pretty much appropriately priced. Looks a little bit better on FanDuel. But the key takeaway here, the guy that's going to climb to the top, Bam Adebayo is the guy you're looking for coming out of this game. And it's not really close. As you see, Bam Adebayo into that number 2 spot on DraftKings. One of 2 guys now with Cade Cunningham north of 40% in boom score. Little bit lower here on the FanDuel side. But let's see. Do we get any Miami guys up here? Yeah, Caleb Martin as the value option. Nobody really pulling away from the pack on FanDuel quite yet. I actually think DeJounte Murray and Cade are probably the 2 best plays so far, just based on their salaries. Fun stuff. Halfway done. We are at the halfway point. We've been going for an hour. I got done 6 games. We're probably getting out of here at like 8:15, 8:30. Are we not entertained, folks? I love having you guys here. There's no better show than this. Find me a better show in the DFS industry than this one, and I'll show you a liar. Cleveland and Toronto. Oh, battle of the potential rookie of the years from last year. Cleveland, 2.5-point dogs, 214 total. I do have a rotation in here. This was done, 2-3 weeks ago, so we'll see if it's actually going to hold. I have Neto in as the backup point guard. Rubio's not available yet, right? Am I crazy? Yeah, he's still miles and miles a game. Why are we projecting Ricky Rubio in? God damn. Most of this should be pretty easy. Darius Garland, point guard, starting, got it. Howell Neto, backup. Donovan Mitchell, starting shooting guard, good. Karis LeVert, I got in for 28 minutes. We could play around with that. Chetty in for 12, looks fine. I gave Dean Wade 14 minutes. He's playing for sure. Jared Allen in for 32. Evan Mobley in for 34. Let's take him down to 32. And we'll bump up Okoro 2 more minutes. Yeah, I'm already happy with this. Now, this is where things are going to get complicated. Where does the usage come from? Darius Garland obviously had a big season last year. Donovan Mitchell, clearly a guy that has the ball in his hands a lot. LeVert's going to have to give it up at least a little bit. Kevin Love, definitely going to be a little bit different. I'm anxious to see how much they stagger Garland and Mitchell, but I got to get Darius Garland's usage rate back up. I'm going to lock in Donovan Mitchell at 30. We're going to lock in Karis LeVert at 22. There's not a lot of usage to go around on this team. We're going to do something like that. That's really going to penalize Jared Allen. I don't know if there's many ways around that. I'll definitely penalize Isaac Okoro because he sucks. All right, Cleveland done. Toronto also should be pretty easy to break down. This is a team that didn't have much turnover here. We know that there's no Boucher for today. Let's just slot in all of the obvious pieces first. I'm going to try to be a little pessimistic and not think that they just play Fred VanVleet 900 minutes out of the gate. We'll see how correct that ends up being. 34 for Van Vliet, 34 for Trent, 34 for OG Anunoby. We're going to go 36 to Siakam. He just always plays a little bit more. We're going to get Scotty Barnes in for, I'm going to go 34 on Barnes. We're going to get Precious in for 20. I'm going to say Thad Young plays 16. Otto Porter's not available, if I remember correctly. Yeah, Boucher doubtful. Porter out for like a week or two. Kem Birch also not healthy. So even though they have like 900 centers, it seems like none of them are actually available. Okoro is does not have the PJ Tucker skill set. All right, we'll give Malachi Flynn some run, Delano Banton some run. We'll throw Juancho Hernan-Gomez a couple minutes. And I'll hash out Toronto's rotation later, but I know that I'm just going to have to move some guys around. I have very little that I really want to change here. This is basically the same team we had from last year. So Toronto is as easy as it gets. On the Cleveland side, if you want to go to Garland at 7,100 on DraftKings, I don't blame you at all. I think that price tag is way too pessimistic for what's going to end up happening here. I really like the idea of taking a shot there if Mitchell integrates well. 8,500 for Mitchell on DK, 7,900 for Mitchell on FanDuel. Look, one of those two guys probably looks pretty good today. I just don't know which one it's going to be. I don't have a ton of interest in Mobley or Allen or LeVert. The only two guys I want to go to are Garland or Mitchell. And it's Garland on DraftKings, Mitchell on FanDuel. For Toronto. Okay, guys, here's where we're at. 326 viewers, 197 likes. I can't look at it be in the hundreds any longer. If you're here and you haven't hit it yet, hit that thumbs up. Let's go 225. That's where we need to be. Swaggy Pete, I don't think Dragic is going to matter at all. For Toronto, Siakam, a $7,600 center only on DK. I guess that's where the balance will start to look a little bit weird with Bam, but both of them look good. Bam looks a little bit better, but Siakam looks great. He's 8,500 on FanDuel, looks fine. No priorities from Toronto on the FanDuel side. Scotty Barnes and Siakam, though, look really good on DK. Marcus, good morning. Let's add in Game 7. Tomorrow we'll be able to really dig into stuff. I think there's only 4 games if I'm remembering correctly. All right, so FanDuel, yeah, we're not really doing anything too crazy. DraftKings, you see Siakam gets to the top 5. That I'm interested in. That Siakam Bam combo, that's a really nice core in the 6s and 7s. I really like the idea of going balanced. We haven't seen any like value plays that I want to go crazy for. Let's save this file so I don't lose my mind and accidentally delete it. And then let's also close the DraftKings salary file. 209. There we go. All right. Game 8, Oklahoma City and Minnesota. This is going to be really bad for the Thunder. They're going to have a lot of trouble creating efficient offense against this Minnesota defense. We'll start with the OK City side. Oh, God, this is going to be brutal. Here goes nothing. Okay. There are obviously a couple spots here that we know are going to be easy. Josh Giddey's going to get 32 minutes. Shea's going to get 32 minutes. Lou Dort is going to get 32 minutes. We can hit up that piece pretty quickly. I assume JRE is like splitting the center time with someone. And Ousmane Deng probably and Jalen Williams both need to get added to the model. Jalen Williams, we'll say, is a 3.5. Jang is a 4.5. And boom. What else do we got here for OKC? This is a very tough team to project. I guess Poku's going to probably play like 26 minutes. Somebody's got to close for this team, you know? Starters look fine. Jalen Williams, Trey Mann, Baisley, Jeng. Okay. So we're going to say Trey Mann, backup point guard. Uchman Jeng also playing at center. Jalen Williams getting like 20 minutes. Baisley getting like 24. 18 minutes left for someone. Is that just going to be Kenrich Williams? It should be Kenrich Williams. I mean, he's like the third best player on this team. Whether or not he's actually getting any playing time is going to be a different question. I'm going to assume that he is. I'm going to assume it's Kenrich Williams. I don't think that this is going to matter at all. From a rate perspective, other than like making sure Shea gets a shit ton of usage, I don't have a feel here at all. I can't imagine Oklahoma City looks good here. Yeah, I only needed to add one of the Jalen Williamses, and I added the one that I wanted to add. The other one isn't very good. The wing Jalen Williams is going to play a bunch. The center Jalen Williams isn't. What else do we got here? Okay, so rates I don't care about then. Now we go to Minnesota. Fun team to project. That's for sure. And most of this should be pretty easy as well. You know, we're going to get... It's a shame they gave up Beverly. I would have really liked to see Beverly stay here in Minnesota because I like this team. They should have been able to angle to keep him, you would think. All right, so we're going to say 33 minutes for Rudy Gobert. I'm going to say 33 minutes for Karl Anthony Towns. Figure out what they're going to do after that. I'm going to go 34 to Ant. I'm going to go 32 to D'Angelo Russell. Jalen Noel gets... We'll go... Jordan McLaughlin gets 16. Yeah, I got to bump everybody down. 34 here to Edwards. Jaden McDaniels is going to get 28. Probably, maybe 30, depending. Noel gets 14 here as the backup. We got to get Slow-Mo in for 20 minutes. He's going to be fantastic coming off the bench. And then we've got 15 minutes apiece to go to. Yeah, it seems like Naz Reid is just going to play as like the second center. And like we might really get Towns as just like a straight 4. And then Taurean Prince gets the other 15. That's about as easy as it gets. The usage rates will be kind of weird here. Yeah, I think you're right on McDaniels getting 30. I just don't really know where to take those minutes from. I'll take them from McLaughlin. That's fine. But like, losing the shooting and everything hurts, but integrating Gobert is really easy from a usage perspective. So I don't think anything crazy has to happen with everybody else. I think that's going to be fine for Minnesota. I just don't know what their salaries look like. So we look at OKC. No priorities on DraftKings at all. Josh Giddey, a 6K on FanDuel. That's a priority. He's going to be one of the highest ranked guys for me. And I do not like Josh Giddey. At least as a real basketball player, I think Josh Giddey is not going to play winning basketball. However, a point guard, shooting guard, 6K guy, over a fantasy point per minute here for Giddey. I like that price. I don't like much else here. You know, like Shea and... Ooh, that was a weird noise. Shea and Poku are fine. Giddey is the star. On Minnesota, I don't think he can go there. No priorities, at least. Edwards, Towns, Gobert, Russell, McDaniels. I think relative to salary, all look very, very similar. On FanDuel, it's basically the same situation. I don't really like any part of this. Not a lot at all in this game. But you can see Josh Giddey, number one spot on FanDuel right now at 6K. Very easy to go balanced on FanDuel. Really want to see where he ranks when we end up running power ranking sim or crunch. Josh Giddey, top of the heap on FanDuel right now. Love it. Love to see it. 4 games to go. This one makes no sense to me. I know that the Spurs are bad, but the Charlotte Hornets, without their 2 best players, are also bad. And yet somehow the Charlotte Hornets are the favorites in this game in San Antonio. 1.5 point favorites, 226 total. We got to get LaMelo out of there because he's hurt. So that's going to get us 34 minutes of Terry Rozier. I've got Mason Plumlee in for 24 minutes. I got Nick Richards in for probably too many minutes. We need to get PJ Washington in for 30 at a minimum now. Jalen McDaniels is going to need to play like 20. There's no way James Bouknight's playing tonight, right? And also, give me 1 second, folks. Whoops, forgot to shut the door. All right, we're back. Apologies, guys. Had to handle something. James Bouknight can't play today. This dude has like 4 DUIs and 2 in the past 2 weeks. I'm going to assume that James Bouknight's not allowed to see the floor today. I don't know if I can totally make that happen, but I assume that's what we're going to do. Cody Martin getting a chunk of time. I got Gordon Hayward in for 30 minutes. I need to fill 38 minutes here. I don't think they have enough bodies. All right, let's think about this rotation. Rozier, Hayward, Washington, Plumlee, Oubre, Martin, McDaniels. Other center is 8. I don't know what to do with James Bouknight. Kelly Oubre is going to play 30 minutes, so that's an easy place to like soak up a little bit more this time. That's for sure. I don't want to give Gordon Hayward 32 minutes. That dude's going to explode if that happens. So I have 32. I got to give 16 minutes to 2 separate guys. I think Dennis Smith Jr. is going to be one of those dudes. Just because I don't think that I can count on... James Bouknight playing today. So I'm going to give Dennis Smith Jr. 16. And then they need another guard. Unless they're going to go to like a different center setup and try to get Mark. Like, does Mark Williams get out on the floor for? It's really hard with Nick Richards. Like Mark Williams, Nick Richards, I don't think that they can both play and Plumlee can play. But maybe they can, and they just don't want to play PJ Washington at all. Maybe that's what we'll do. Maybe PJ Washington is going to play 32 minutes at the 4, and we're going to get 14 minutes of Mark Williams, Mason Plumlee, and Nick Richards. That's what I'm going to go with. Let's add Mark Williams to the model as a 5. I don't see a situation where JT Thor is playing, and I think it'll be DSJ over Maledon, but either I don't really care which one it is. None of that really matters to me, who the backups are. Like, we're not playing them, so it doesn't matter if we're right, if that makes sense. Getting the starters right is all that really matters, or any potential value options. But like, what if JT Thor plays 14 minutes and Mark Williams doesn't? I don't care. It doesn't change anything for fantasy. If it's Maledon playing 16 minutes over DSJ, it doesn't matter to me at all. We're not playing either one of them anyway. A lot of usage to go around, though, for the Kelly Oubres of the world. I assume Charlotte's going to pop here, just based on what's out. We'll go to San Antonio now. Oh, this is a team that's got a shit ton of additional dudes that I need to add, right? Joe Wieskamp got cut, so we can handle that. let's look at San Antonio because this is a completely different team. So Trey Jones is going to be the starting point guard for reasons that I don't know. I don't even have him listed here. All right, so Trey Jones in starting point guard, done. I believe Josh Primo is set to be the starting 2 and probably the backup point guard. Oh, no. Vassell, Johnson, Sohan, Pirtle. Got it. All right, so we'll go 32 to Vassell. I'm going to give Josh Primo the backup point guard minutes right out of the gate. Keldon Johnson is going to soak up so much usage for this team. Pete the Heat in the house. Too much Damian Jones. Yeah, I did not expect to see him glued to the bench yesterday. So that Matt Ryan could play additional time and JTA could be the backup center. I didn't have too much. I only had like 10%, but yeah, that Damian Jones one was pretty weird. That's not what I was expecting given the way they talked about him before the season. All right, we're going to need to add Sohan to the model. Let's do that. His position is question mark, I guess. You ready for Saturday? Hell of a card. I hope you're off. All right, Sohan in. Obviously, Jake Puddle, easy to get to here. Now, let's think about the rest of these guys. Why does this keep not swiping the way that I want it to? Okay. Keita Bates-Diop, Zach Collins, Josh Richardson, Roby, maybe McDermott. Okay, this isn't too bad then. We're going to say Zach Collins, backup center. We're going to go Josh Richardson, backup 2. Keita Bates-Diop, backup 4. And then, are we missing anyone else? I'm going to go Isaiah Roby. We're going to go Isaiah Roby. Again, none of this should really matter. It's a totally new team. Keldon Johnson, last year, with no Murray on the floor, just takes a lot of usage. So let's see what this looks like. Charlotte. Kelly Oubre, 5,100 on FanDuel. Shooting guard, small forward. Best option on the FanDuel side. Looks good at 5,500 on DraftKings. Terry Rozier, obviously going to fall into a lot of additional usage. Keep in mind, guys, when I put out contenders today, my update tonight is way more important. Because I'll be able to have time to really work through usage rates and individual team rates. I'll bounce a bunch of thoughts off of Adam as well. So pay close attention to the updates tonight. Make sure you're following me on Twitter at Josh Engleman. I think Charlotte looks solid. I thought it was going to look a little bit better, but there's clearly upside in the Charlotte starters. For San Antonio, this is the team to jam. I mean, this isn't even close. Wow. DraftKings is San Antonio season. $5,900 Keldon Johnson. One of the best plays you're going to find today. $4,600 Devin Vassell. I think one of the best plays you're going to find today. Trey Jones, $4,200. I think he's one of the best plays you're going to find from a value perspective. Jakob Poeltl for $5,800. Looks really good to me. Trey Jones, 5,100 on FanDuel, also really good. There's so much usage to go around, and we don't know who's going to get it yet. But right away, Keldon Johnson standing out big time. Big time. Look at this. Trey Jones, Kelly Oubre, right away at the top on FanDuel if you're looking for more value. Trey Jones, what? Yeah, DSJ, go away, bro. Oh, I know what's happening here. Dennis Smith, June. Boom, fixed. Trey Jones, 4,200 on DraftKings. I think we're looking at what's probably the best value play. Devin Vassell, 4,600, not all that far behind. Pirtle up there right with Bam. So center's loaded. Keldon Johnson, 5,900, massive ceiling. The Spurs are the best team we've looked at so far on DraftKings. Did you assume that was coming? Is Charlotte's defense going to be better this year under Steve Clifford? Yes, it is. Is that a reason that I don't want to go to San Antonio? No. Tank Bowl is on. I'm excited to get to the Spurs today. 3 games to go. Denver Nuggets. We're up to 360 people, 230 likes. I love this show so much. I love you guys so much. Let's hit the Nugs now. This should be really easy. It might already be done. I am going to take 2 minutes away from Jamal Murray, take him down to 28. We'll take Bones Island up to 20. KCP in for 30. I got Devon Reed in for 18. I've got DeAndre Jordan as the straight backup to Jokic. It should be Zeke Naji. I don't know who it's going to actually be. It doesn't really matter, but Zeke Naji's good. MPJ in for 30. I'm going to cut him down to 28 as well. We'll bump Bruce Brown up to 20. We got Aaron Gordon in for 32. Let's go like that and like that. I have very little that I'm worried about changing here for the Nuggets. We know this team. This is normal. Normal old Denver Nuggets, just no Monty Morris. Getting everybody back is great. Who the hell knows how they're going to play? But they do get to play a Utah team. Their defense is going to be really, really bad. Be ready for Utah to be crazy on offense to start the season because not everybody's gone yet. There's a lot of offensive talent here, but their defense is going to be as bad as it could possibly be. All right, first up, let's get Walker Kessler added to the model. He is going to have to play. Came over in that Rudy Gobert trade. Rookie center. Drafted by Minnesota. Okay, so Mike Conley. Can't imagine they're just going to beat him into the ground. I'm going to give him 28 minutes. I think we're going to get 32 minutes out of Markkanen at the 4. I think we get 30 minutes out of Colin Sexton making his return. Vanderbilt and Olynyk. Is Markkanen going to play the 3? I think Markkanen's going to play the 3. Okay. Vanderbilt in for 28 minutes. Olynyk in for 26 minutes. We're going to say Walker Kessler gets 16. THT's going to play a bunch. Malik Beasley's going to play a bunch. Jordan Clarkson's still here. Wild team. Let's go like this. We'll get Jordan Clarkson in for 26 minutes. Don't really have a great feeling there. We'll get Malik Beasley in for 24. That's 8. I got 15 minutes apiece to go to who? Rudy Gay. Even though I'm not a big Gay guy. Oh, and Talen Horton-Tucker. 16-14 here. I'm very, very... If you have an idea on how to project the rates for this team, good luck. I assume Jordan Clarkson and Colin Sexton are going to shoot the shit out of the ball, and that's about it. All right, coffee's in the books. This game is also in the books, right? Denver, Utah. Yeah, done. Denver. Jokic looks great on DK at 10-3. If you want to pay up for center, go for it. EMAC, happy to have you here. We got a packed house, 370 people up in this piece, 240 likes. We got a BetMGM ad that guys can get $200 from. You got the Hardwood promo code. What more could we possibly want? We've been going for 90 minutes at this point. Play Nikola Jokic on DraftKings if you want to pay up for a center. Looks good. 11,600. You get him at power forward, but man, that's a healthy price tag. He should smash. I just don't know if they're going to need to smash that much. I don't like all that much else from Denver because I think the minutes are going to be pretty limited. On the Utah side, man, I thought we were going to get more favorable pricing. Markkanen looks solid. Kelly Olynyk looks solid. That's about it. $4,600 Kelly Olynyk on FanDuel. There's definitely some upside there. I like pieces of Utah. I just don't have a ton of confidence in which one it is. So 2 games left to go. Yeah, it looks like we're going to end up doing an hour 45 here. Am I crazy? Is this not showing everybody? Oh, that was DraftKings. Jokic looked good. Yeah, Jokic gets to 11 here. Center's loaded, guys. I love my wife, 0007. Glad to have you here. Guys, this is quite the process. And we'll see as the year goes on. We'll be able to dig into more and more rotations and usage rates and assist rates and rebounding rates and the way people play when they're on the floor. But a lot of this is just straight up full-on crapshoot guessing. I believe Utah cut Jared Butler, so I'm going to delete him too. 2 games left. Dallas at Phoenix. Whew, here we go. Dallas Mavericks. We'll start there. I do have a rotation in already. We'll see how much that's going to hold. 30 minutes to Dinwiddie. Yeah, maybe not. We'll take it down to 29. Ntilikina out? He is out. No Ntilikina, no Bertans. Maxey questionable. Ntilikina out, no Bertans. 28 minutes for Christian Wood. Cool. 20 minutes for JaVale. Cool. Totally good there. 34 for DFS. Yup. I'm going to leave Maxey in for 20. I'm actually going to bump him up to 28. I'm going to go 30 to Reggie Bullock. I'm going to go 28 to Tim Hardaway. I have 9 minutes left over for, we're going to say, Josh Green. 9-man rotation? That feels weird. It is Dallas, though. I don't think they're going to do anything wildly different. Luka looks fine. Christian Wood will be an interesting integration. Yeah, look, we know what we're getting out of Dallas. Luka, Dinwiddie, Bullock, DFS, JaVale, Christian Wood, Hardaway. If it's Maxey as well, those 8 guys are going to soak up a lot of this. Maybe Facundo Campazzo gets some time as a backup point guard. I don't think it's all that interesting. And it's a really tough matchup. On the Phoenix side, clearly we're not going to get any of Jay Crowder, who is not with the team, making incredibly poor decisions. No Landry Shamet either. The rest of this should be pretty easy. Welcome back, Dario Saric, by the way. So we're going to go 32 to Chris Paul. We're going to go 35 to Devin Booker. I'm going to get DeAndre Ayton in for 32. I'm going to assume that Dario Saric gets that backup run. Cam Johnson, your new starting 4. He's going to play 32 minutes. I assume Mikal Bridges, I'm going to get in for 35. Plays massive minutes. Doesn't miss any time, basically, ever. Cam Payne is your backup point guard. That's pretty easy to handle. Josh Okogie, I think, is going to get some time defensively. Damian Lee also probably going to get a little bit of time. And then finally, final 16 minutes go to Torrey Craig. That couldn't have been an easier team to project. I mean, there's all this hand-wringing about Phoenix and people being worried about this team and DeAndre Ayton. This team won 60-whatever games. They blew away the competition last year in the regular season. And other than Jay Crowder not being here, they get Dario Saric back as a legit backup. This team's going to smash people in the regular season. Like, is this revenge matchup against Dallas? Like, is this a little bit different? Can people read into this if it goes the wrong way? Yes. Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, DeAndre Ayton is still one of the best 5-man lineups you're going to get to. Like, they're exceptional. Don't go too crazy here. I don't have any real rates that I want to change. Like, we know what this team is. So, fast team to get through. On the Dallas side, clearly you can play Luka Doncic at any point. He's going to look good. I don't think he's any sort of crazy value, but 10-2 on DraftKings. That works for me. Nothing else on Dallas looks good. On the Phoenix side, I love $6,200 DeAndre Ayton on DK. It looks like the centers on DraftKings are just going to be wildly underpriced like they were last year. Pretty flat across the board for everybody on FanDuel. It's a game I want to watch a lot, but I don't really think they're all that viable from a DFS perspective. Yeah, like nobody's ranking all that high here. Guys, let's close this out. Final game before we run some crunches. Portland at Sacramento. This is a team. These are two teams that are going to have two like close to bottom 5 defenses. Portland's defense is maybe the worst defense in the league in terms of any team that could be decent. There's not enough there for Nurk. When you're playing Simons and Lillard so much, you're going to get beat like a drum. On the opposite side, any team that's got Domantas Sabonis as your starting center is going to get destroyed defensively. Neither one of these teams is going to be very good defensively. Mike Brown might be able to save Sacramento a little bit, but I don't expect it. Projecting Portland should be pretty easy. I'm going to go 35 minutes to Dame. I'm going to go 33 minutes to Anthony Simons. We're going to get Yusuf Nurkic in there for 29 minutes. Naz Little just coming off of his signing. Jeremy Grant, welcome to Portland, 32 minutes at the 4. Josh Hart, 32 minutes at the 3. The rest of this stuff is just going to shake itself out pretty easily. Shaedon Sharpe, is he going to play? I didn't think he was going to play, but it looks like Shaedon Sharpe is going to play. That's another guy that's just going to get beat like a drum defensively until he understands how to be in the NBA, which could be years. Could be literal years. All right, so we get Shaedon Sharpe in there. Most of this is going to hash itself out pretty easily. Let's say Simons is the backup point guard. Get Shaedon Sharpe in here for 16 minutes. Naz Little in for 16 minutes. Keon Johnson in for... We'll go 12 minutes to Keon Johnson. 16 to Justice Winslow. And your backup center, Drew Eubanks. Good luck with that. Usage is going to be kind of interesting. I assume Jeremy Grant's going to take a little bit of a haircut. And then, Simons is going to come in around 22. I think Lillard probably comes in around 28 if he's healthy. We get Nurk at like 21, and then everybody else just tries to fight for scraps. Sacramento now. What? There we go. I don't want San Antonio. There we go. Sacramento. Keegan Murray's not going to be available, so I don't even have to load him in right now. We're going to get 34 minutes out of Fox. We're going to get 34 minutes out of Sabonis, 34 minutes out of Harry Barnes. We'll go 33 to Kevin Huerter. Mitchell is going to play, backup both positions for guards. Actually going to move Huerter there to the 3. We'll get 24 out of Monk. We'll get Rashawn Holmes as the backup. Looks like Trey Lyles as a backup 4. Terrence Davis probably sees some time. And then I have 15 minutes left over. Who am I missing? It's probably going to be KZ Okpala, I believe. KZ Okpala is a big, or Mike Brown is a big KZ Okpala fan. Yeah, so Huerter questionable as well. Mitchell, Monk, yeah, it's going to be Okpala. We're going to give KZ these 15 minutes. Mark, yeah, Little's got to be a part of the rotation. Just signed an extension yesterday. Rates I think can hold. This is last year's team. No major changes here in my opinion. So, as we look at Portland, lots to like here. And I'm not surprised because it's a great DFS spot. Nurk, again, center underpriced on DraftKings. Everybody on FanDuel is the same relative to salary, like 5.1 to 5.3x, mid-20s, boom. Pick whoever you want. $8,200 Dame. It's not hard to see Dame Lillard going for 50-plus fantasy points against the Kings tonight as a late-night hammer, right? That's just like the easiest thing in the world to picture. $8,200 Dame smashing. He's $1,200 more expensive on DraftKings. Love him. Josh Hart, shooting guard small forward, $5,200 on DK probably stands out the most. And then on the Sacramento side, Sabonis, $8,100. Like I said, centers are underpriced on DraftKings. $8,600 on FanDuel seems fine. If Kevin Huerter plays, he's $4,200 on FanDuel. I think that's a pretty interesting price tag for him. Should see a lot of good open looks. No major priorities, though, out of Portland and Sacramento. Guys, 8:09 a.m. We've been going for like an hour and 40 minutes. We've got 400 people here, 265 likes. The process is back, and it's the best thing on YouTube at 6:30 in the morning until it's over. Thank you guys so much for being here. Hit that like button now. You know what to do. Let's run some crunches. We'll kick it off with FanDuel. This is great. This is great. All right, FanDuel projections coming in. There we go. Optimal cash lineup on FanDuel, 342.53 fantasy points. So the optimal by like 0.6. DeJounte Murray, Trey Jones, Cade Cunningham, Josh Giddey, Sadiq Bey, Kelly Oubre, Sabonis, Randall, Capella. Fully balanced lineup. Nobody higher than 8,800. Not getting to Luka or Jokic. I think that'll change as we get later on in the day, but there's so much value in the mid-tier today. Keep a look at it. The only other change we can make if we wanted to drop down here, we change out Cade Cunningham and Sadiq Bey for Terry Rozier and Tyler Hero. All right, power rankings. This really could... I expect this to be ultra flat. Yeah, look at this. I mean, there's at least based on what I've run so far, there's no one that's so wildly priced incorrectly that we're creating massive value. This is a 12-game slate, and no one is in the optimal more than... Nobody crosses 20%. That is so difficult. So difficult. Looking like DeJounte Murray, Cade Cunningham, Kelly Oubre all fighting for the top spot. Cade Cunningham, DeJounte Murray, Kelly Oubre, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and Jimmy Butler. Top 5 on FanDuel, with the next 5 being Bey, Morant, Halliburton, Porter, and Cole Anthony. What do we do here, guys? That's impossible. Impossible. We go to DraftKings now. Highest projected guy, Nikola Jokic. I don't think anybody's surprised there. Let's see what we get on DK. Optimal cash line, or my optimal lineup to start, 311.82. Optimal lineup by 1.2 fantasy points. Cade Cunningham, Tyrese Halliburton, Devin Vassell, Jalen Smith, Bam Adebayo, Trey Jones, Keldon Johnson, and then on DK, we do get to Jokic. Plenty of other, this is going to look so different by the time we get a little bit further on in the day. Nice to see Jokic make the optimal here. Those raw points are just massive. Power rankings on DK before we get out of here. I got to put this video to bed, record 2 process videos, get them out there, and then Adam and I have to try to do 12 NBA games in an hour. Yeah, that should be a treat. Cade Cunningham, going to be your number 1 contender on DraftKings for today at 7K. Trey Jones, Devin Vassell, just outside of that top spot. Keldon Johnson there as well, but very clear top 3 of Cade, Trey Jones, Devin Vassell. Feels like it's the end of the season already. Desmond Bane grading out really well, but look at the gap here. 24% to Cade, 22% to Trey Jones, 21% to Devin Vassell. We dropped to 15 on Desmond Bane. So it looks like Cade, Trey Jones, Devin Vassell separating from the pack, flat across the board after that. FanDuel up and down. DraftKings up and down. Folks, looks like we made it. It looks like we are here. Another one in the books. Thank you guys for being here. This is fantastic. Thank you to BetMGM for being the sponsor. Link in the description. If you're new to BetMGM, sign up, head on over, bet $10 on any NHL money line. Listen to me here. NHL money line. It's got to be hockey for this particular promotion. Put $10 on it. Put it on the favorite. If any goal happens in that game, Doesn't matter which side. Doesn't matter if you win the bet. $200 in free bets from BetMGM. Also, sign up at Stokastic.com using the promo code HARDWOOD, all caps, one big word. $10 of Stokastic Plus Platinum for just, 10 days for $10. That's what I'm looking for. Easier said than done, I guess. I need to get out of here, folks. We got way more content to do. Thank you for being here. We're back tomorrow. I think it's a 4-gamer. Let's just double check it, and then we'll send everybody on their way. No, it's a 2-gamer tomorrow. Another 2-gamer. We'll zip through that. We'll talk deep Bucks, Sixers, and Clippers, Lakers tomorrow. And then we get another monster slate for Friday. I love you guys a ton. Thank you so much. Hit the like button on your way out the door. Good luck, everybody. We out of here. Peace.